Hi everyone. Namaskaram to viewers of Sri Energy Management. In this part, we are going to see about sleep disorder. As I have already said many times, a doctor goes and reads about many diseases and starts treating those diseases. But a healer always goes through pain and finds answer for their pain, structures their learning, implements in their life, does lot of research, and then does service. And when they achieve a breakthrough, they bring out that method as a healing method. So healers are born from pain. Let me tell you, once I also underwent sleep disorder. My sleep disorder was a typical kind, like I will go to sleep very early at 9 p.m. sharp. I'll go to sleep. But since I was staying in hostel and I was staying in some with many course mates and all, when I was doing my training, suddenly somebody will come and make some noise. I'll get up, and after that I won't be able to go back to sleep. This was a pattern I had. And also, as I got into Indian Air Force, I was working with communication networks, and there was night shifts. We had to do night maintenance during those times, and I had a small baby at home, managing home and office, everything. I had loss of sleep, and this also set in a lot of sleep disorder. It contributed, but it doesn't come just like that. First, a digestive disorder starts. And it had started like that for me when I started staying outside from home. And when with work, I had to juggle with work, and my meal timings were actually not proper, and the food I was having was not actually the staple food which I was having from my childhood, and everything started changing. I started encountering some digestive disorders. Also, I was not used to eating outside. Of course, college hostel, the food was prepared in a very good way. But from childhood in our family, going to hotels, restaurants, and eating was not at all encouraged. So initially, I developed a digestive issues, and then it converted to a sleep disorder, and the sleep disorder then became a stress disorder, because with loss of sleep and when you have lot of things to accomplish, you are not able to, you feel stressed, and that stress, accumulated stress, started giving me other diseases like migraine. And it's a during pregnancy the BP also shoot up, migraine, and sinusitis, back pain, spondylitis, all these things came. These diseases also come not only due to stress. Even the stomach disorder also starts when we are unknowingly living with a toxic partner, and that person is, they are called energy stealers. They steal our energy. The concept is been scientifically proved recently that when we live with this kind of people, our body is showing symptoms of inflammations inside. Recently a doctor has spoken about this, that there is scientific proof of inflammation inside our system when we are exposed to toxic environment. And this was also one of the reasons because of which I was suffering all these issues. And now, let me tell you how came out of the disorder. The disorder started very slowly, and when I realized that I'm into really big trouble now, and I'm not able to pursue my dreams, I'm not able to do anything fruitfully, my energy levels are down, and I'm not, my quality of life is going down because of this. That's the time I decided I have to come out of it without pills, because from childhood itself I have been brought up in a very in a systematic way. In my mother used never used to give us pills for everything. She always adhered to the homemade medicine, and then she was working with the Siddha department, so she always gave us the Indian medicine. So my body was actually very clean. I had never used painkillers and all. But with this onset of this headache, migraine, I started using painkillers frequently. And one day I read an article, Painkiller Kills, how it destroys our kidney. So that day I decided I have to overcome this. I was having homeopathy medicine for my migraine, and I was also doing yoga, pranayama, everything. But my implementation was not consistent, because I was not having a very clear, like very strong belief about these things, about yoga. But one day when I was meeting a friend, she said she has overcome migraine with only pranayama. So I had a very doctor's book about healing through pranayama, and I read it and sincerely implemented it. In next 6 months, I was really out of sinusitis, and slowly I was coming out to this. The frequency of migraine reduced, and after I took Swara Samyoga and I practiced Swara Samyoga, only the migraine actually vanished. But before that, I also tried many other modalities for sleep disorder. One of that which was very effective was the acupressure therapy. So I was going to a clinic and coming, it was far away, and the effect of therapy used to go away with the travel, amount of travel I had to do. So I bought the particular therapeutic vibrator machine that they were using in the clinic and kept it at my home. It was a big decision because the travel cost and the machine cost was coming the same. So for a year, if I calculated, I took the machine and I started having therapy at home itself. It's a vibrator machine that presses points in our foot, and that was very effective. That was very, very effective. With the initial stage, I was getting proper sleep. But yes, the problem was being tackled at a superficial level, and I had to have more stable treatment towards that. And next is, of course, the pranayama and yoga. Swara Samyoga helped me. Another more important technique that helped me was the Varma technique. There is a field called Varmology. In the Ayurvedic side they call it Marmam, and in the Siddha side they call it Varmam. And this particular technique is used by the Varma practitioners. They are medical practitioners, but how this evolved is, there is a specific martial art form in the southernmost states, and in that martial art form, that is Adimurei they call it, and in that martial art form, if the student is getting injured, they used to use some techniques to immediately relieve him of the pain and the after effects of the injury. So that technique was called Marmam. So I had an opportunity to learn this technique also from Dr. Shanmugam is my guru, and I've learned basic and advanced course from him. I have been using it for myself and my family predominantly, and I've given a little bit of volunteering I have done in the clinics he is having. But predominantly I'm using for myself, and I have found that for the sleep disorder, this Varmam technique is very good. Even for eye related disorders, somebody has water flowing from eyes continuously, or I have once used it for my mother during pandemic. The eye points actually it stopped the cataract growth when we gave it to her regularly, and she didn't require a cataract operation. Of course, she got it done very late, just recently, because if it goes later, she might be too old to get operated. That's why she got operated. But during the pandemic time, that cataract growth just stopped. So these sleep points are also surrounding the eyes only. This point also helped me in overcoming sleep disorder. Another small tips which one should follow for getting a good sleep is: take a towel, wet the towel, squeeze it well, and sponge it all over your body, especially underarms, backside of the nape and all. Complete body, sponge it and cool your body, and then wear a fresh dress while before going to sleep. If you follow this method, you will have a very deep sleep. Some people also go and take bath before sleep, but for some people taking a bath means you should take a head bath. Only the taking bath, only body bath actually pushes the heat to the head, and that also amplifies sleep disorder. That's why I'm telling this technique of just giving a sponge bath before going to sleep. And wear a fresh dress preferably before sleep, not that dress which you have been wearing for the whole day. This also ensures kind of good breathing for your skin, and the vibes in your dress, actually the vibes in your dress matters. When you wear a nightie, you'll already always feeling like sleeping. And then another most important thing is, if you see, check the temperature in your room. If you're having sleep disorder, preferably sleep in a different room where the temperature is set to the way in which you are comfortable. Don't compromise with somebody's requirement. They might be requiring a very high, very low temperature, and they'll be setting AC to 16 degree, 18 degree and all. Maybe you are not comfortable, then you will start feeling like passing urine every now and then, and you will lose your sleep in that. So pick up a place in your house where the temperature is suiting you and go for sleep. And switch off all the lights. The room should be totally dark. Then only your circadian rhythm will properly reset for the next day. And another most important thing is, don't even put small lights. That's also very harmful. For clear good sleep, you should switch off all the lights and the room should be perfectly dark. And preferably, I also used to have my animals sleeping, my dog sleeping near me. And if they are naughty and if they keep doing something in the night, then you have to put them out so that you don't get a disturbed sleep. Also check your bed, your pillow, or are they creating any discomfort to you during sleeping. So if you check all these things, the temperature, the place where you are sleeping, the lighting condition, and you have to go to sleep before 1 hour. Suppose you are planning to sleep from 10 p.m. By 9 p.m. settle down, take a book, read, be peaceful. No screen time after 8 p.m. After 8 or maximum 8:30 p.m., don't look at your mobiles or don't look at any of the TV screen and all. This exposure to the screen light is creating most of the sleep disorder which we are seeing nowadays. So, and as a music expert and an integrative music healing coach, I have been using certain ragas for sleeping. Neelambari Chandrajyoti is very good for sleeping. Kuranji is also very good for sleeping. And there are certain sleep modules available in the network also, but that is they're all customized. It's not customized, they are all subjective. You can just try and try to know whether they are suiting you. And there is a shloka in Saundarya Lahari for getting good sleep. स्मितज्योत्स्नाजालं तव वदनचन्द्रस्य पिबता चकोराणामासीत् अतिरसतया चञ्चुजडिमा अतस्ते शीतांशोः आप्तलहरीम् आम्लरुचयः पिबन्ति स्वच्छन्दो निशि निशि भृशं काञ्चिकधिया. So, this particular shloka you can keep chanting in the evening. There are a lot of restrictions written in the shloka that you have to do it 30 times per day and all, but seeing the present style of working we have, is impossible for everybody. So, what I tell generally people is just learn this and keep chanting throughout the evening whenever you're doing some work and all. This puts you in a very calm state to comfortably go into sleep. Music has a great effect, and especially the shlokas, which have been written for this purpose, gives a very good sleep. So, happy sleeping. See you in the another video about healing and transformation. Have a great day.